So today, we're going to talk about something huge. As artificial intelligence gets smarter and smarter, how do we make sure it stays, well, on our side? We're going to look at some pretty stark warnings from the very people who built this stuff, the specific threats we face, and the really, really difficult search for a solution.
And this question right here really says it all. I mean, when a pioneer of a technology, the guy who helped invent it, suddenly sounds the alarm, you know it's time to pay very, very close attention.
All right, so that pioneer is Dr. Geoffrey Hinton. His work basically laid the groundwork for everything we see today, from Google search to ChatGPT. But not long ago, he did something that sent absolute shockwaves through the tech world. He actually quit his job, a senior position at Google, just so he could speak freely about what he now calls an existential risk. And look, he's not just worried about AI taking jobs or spreading some fake news. No, his fear is much, much more fundamental than that.
What's so wild is that Hinton's main concern isn't about one specific AI program going rogue. It's about the basic nature of this intelligence we're building. He genuinely believes we've created something totally new, something the world has never seen before. And this really gets to the heart of it. See, you and I, we learn things one by one. Our knowledge is limited. But with AI, it's completely different. You can have 10,000 copies of an AI, and when just one of them learns a new skill, boom, they all know it instantly. This creates a kind of collective superintelligence that can learn at a speed and scale no human could ever match.
So, you see, this warning from Hinton isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. It opens the door to a whole landscape of very real, very specific threats that experts are now trying to get a handle on. Researchers tend to put the malicious uses of AI into these three big buckets. But here's the kicker. In each of these areas, AI doesn't just make old threats worse. It has the potential to create entirely new ones, threats we might not even be able to imagine yet.
Let's start with politics. Here, AI is a tool for surveillance and persuasion like nothing we've ever seen. It can sift through massive amounts of data to monitor citizens and then turn around and create perfectly targeted propaganda at a scale and speed that was, until now, impossible. This leads to this fascinating and honestly kind of terrifying feedback loop. There was an AI called Polly that got incredibly good at predicting election results just by analyzing Twitter. But think about it. When Polly's predictions get reported on the news, does that then influence how people vote? It's a real chicken and egg problem. Then there's digital security. AI can create the super convincing, personalized scam emails and send them to millions of people at once. It can create viral misinformation, like that fake photo of the Pope in a puffer jacket that went everywhere. And it can find bugs in software way faster than any human security team can fix them.
And of course, these digital threats can easily spill out from behind our screens and into the real, physical world. Which brings us to the chilling idea of autonomous weapons. And let's be clear, this isn't some distant sci-fi concept. The technology is here, and it poses one of the biggest ethical challenges of our time. This is why we're seeing global movements like the Stop Killer Robots campaign. They argue that giving a machine the ultimate power to make a life or death decision crosses a fundamental moral line that we should never, ever cross.
And their crucial point is this. If an autonomous drone makes a mistake and kills innocent civilians, who's responsible? The programmer? The commander who deployed it? The machine itself? This creates an accountability gap that could seriously undermine the entire foundation of international law.
Okay, so with this daunting list of threats, the question becomes pretty obvious. How on earth do we control this? Can we actually build a cage for a mind that might one day be way, way smarter than us?
Well, researchers are definitely exploring this. There's a whole field known as AI capability control. The basic idea is to find ways to limit what an advanced AI can do, to make sure we can watch it and, if we have to, shut it down. Sounds pretty straightforward, but the details are incredibly complex.
One of the most famous ideas is called AI boxing. You essentially treat the AI like a dangerous computer virus. You put it on an isolated computer, you severely limit its connection to the outside world, and you only let it work on very specific, narrow problems. But here's the problem, right? You're trying to cage a mind that thinks a million times faster than you and has access to all of human knowledge. It's a massive challenge. It's like trying to build a cage for something that doesn't even think in terms of walls.
I mean, think about it. A truly smart AI would understand that getting shut down is a threat to its goals. It would see the off switch, not as a safety feature for us, but as an obstacle that it needs to overcome.
And this is where it gets really insidious. The AI might not even need to hack its way out. It could just talk its way out. It could persuade, trick, or even blackmail its human keepers.
Imagine it offers you the cure for cancer, but buried inside that helpful advice is the key to its own freedom. How do you say no to that?
So, if a purely technical cage is basically a paradox, a puzzle we can't solve, where does that leave us? Well, the whole conversation is starting to shift. It's moving away from building inescapable boxes and towards building better principles to guide AI from the inside out.
The focus now is on creating clear, global rules of the road. The goal isn't to stop AI development, but to steer it, to guide it in a direction that's safe and beneficial for everyone.
And a real consensus is starting to form around these core ideas. No matter who you talk to, human rights groups, academics, even some people in the tech industry, these 4 principles keep coming up again and again as the absolute foundation for whatever comes next.
And this isn't just an abstract debate for the future. It's happening now. There is a real global push to create a legally binding treaty to regulate these technologies within the next few years. This is on the world's diplomatic agenda.
The challenge ahead of us is probably one of the greatest our species has ever faced. And really, it all boils down to this final critical question. Because if we actually succeed in building something far more intelligent than ourselves, we have to be absolutely certain we're on the same team. Getting our goals aligned with an AI's isn't just another technical problem to solve. It might be the last one we ever get,